Hello everyone. Today we are going to go ahead and put together the Wildflower Tag Trio set. And this is what they look like. Aren't those adorable? I love the colors, how they turned out. And they're really simple and easy to make. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. For this project, you are going to need 7 total cardstock pieces. So we're going to need 4 different types of pink, a light, 2 mediums, and then a darker pink, a brown or whatever you want for the centers of your flowers, and then 2 tones of green. Now you can change this up. You do not need to go with colors like this, but these are the ones that I particularly used for this project. And they all come from the 12 by 12 cardstock shop. It is part of their Encore paper line. I will link to which these specific colors are in the description below, so check that out if you want to use the exact same colors that I used. But essentially you're going to need 7 pieces of cardstock, something to glue everything together, and then if you want to add some cute ribbon or any other extra embellishments, that's all you're going to need for this project. So it's super simple. Cardstock, your cutting machine, some glue, and you are ready to go. So let's get started. All right, so let's go ahead and start assembling our cute little tags. I have sorted them out so that they are in with the tags that they belong to. Now you can mix and match these all up with the background shapes if you want. I've just sorted them to where they stand out the most. So you can get really creative with your color combinations if you would like. And so let's go ahead and do the most complicated one first, which is this one with the 3 flowers. So I'm just going to pull these 2 out of the way, and we're going to bring this one up. Now, the nice thing about this is the way that I've created these tags is if you don't want to use this background layer because it is the same, you don't have to use these. You could just put them directly on the tag and they will still have that color shining through. But I also included them just in case you wanted to pop them. So if you wanted them to pop up from the card, then you still have that background color coming through for the veins on those leaves, okay? So it just depends on what you want to do there. So I'm just going to go ahead and probably skip this step because I'm just going to put these directly on my tag. So I'm just going to put these guys off to the side for this and then deal directly here. Now, the first thing I want to do is kind of match these up with the different flowers. So it's going to sit kind of like that. And the nice thing is it's kind of like a puzzle. You got to find the one that fits. So I'm going to put that one, go ahead and put that one down since I know that's where it's going. And I am using this Barely Art precision glue. Looks like I need to clean it. So let's go ahead. There we go. And if you want, you can use some tweezers. It always helps with holding things down a little bit, especially with these smaller pieces. Okay, so there's that one. And then I'm going to pull these ones off. And it helps to look at the shape. So like I can pretty much tell this is going to go here because of that little pointy top. This one doesn't have that quite of a pointy top. So again, put some of that glue on. I grabbed that wrong. Just grab it over here. And then press that down. Okay. Next, So we'll go ahead and build all of our flowers first, and then we'll place them on the tag. Like I said, these are all interchangeable. You can move these around however you want. That's also another reason why having these back pieces is great, because if for some reason I decide to put these on the pink tag, and then you still have that background color. So they're extremely usable and versatile for other projects. All right, this is where it's going to get a little bit trickier because they're not quite as obvious, but I'm going to give you a little tip. Look for the edges on the purple, and then on here you're going to want to look for this top little piece right here. Make those line up. So I'm just going to grab this one and see. And it looks like, see how that lines up really nicely with that one? So we're going to go ahead and put those two together. That's the nice thing about this Barely Art glue, is I can get really fine details in. I'm not going to glue that on top of there. So some of these finer projects you can really get in and put that glue down. Okay. All right, so there's that one. Pretty sure this bigger one belongs to the bigger flower, so I'm just going to guess and assume that I've got the right one for here. And it looks like I did, because you can see that little curve right there. Those line up really well. Okay. And then we're going to do this last one. I do like these tweezers. They just help with smaller project pieces like this. Because sometimes my big old fingers, I can't see like when I'm putting it down. But when I'm holding it like this, then I can line things up a lot better. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this guy goes with this one. So we're going to go ahead and put that one on. I love all the details for these flowers, but they are kind of like a little bit of a puzzle, but it's a fun, challenging puzzle, right? And the end result is really cute. All right, that guy is ready to go. He's the middle flower. All right, this one looks like it's smaller, but let's try to see here. If I were to line these up, are they lining up? Not quite, so let's try this one. That's a much better lineup right there. Okay, so you can see how all of those edges line up really well. So that one's going to go there. And I'll grab some glue and place that on here. Like that. The nice thing about this Barely Art glue is it will dry clear, so even though it's kind of spread out a little bit, it'll be okay. All right, that's going to go there. And then our last one, looks like some of that paper didn't come all the way off. If I don't take that off, though, it'll sit funny, so let's fix that. if you worry about it, you can use your little tweezers to kind of clean it up. Okay, so now that's the hardest thing in this whole tag set, is this set right here. Now we can go ahead and place these on our tag. So I'm going to flip that over and put some glue down and just kind of line this up in the center there. Probably should be using my tweezers again. But that's okay. Put that guy right here. And you can place that down. Like I said, you know, this white glue will dry clear, so I'm not too worried about it kind of smushing out on the edges. But look at that. We have a cute little tag that you could put for a wedding gift, for a just a birthday gift, and you know, it's a very versatile sympathy gift, you know, something you want something beautiful on. You could add, you know, some words on here if you wanted to, write your to from on the back, but you have this cute little keepsake tag actually now. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble the other ones. These ones are going to be a lot easier. Like I said, again, I'm not going to use the background because I'm keeping these background pieces. And I do have one little spot that didn't poke through. Let's grab that real quick. All right. So I am going to grab my tweezers for this. Now, the nice thing is about this 12 by 12 cardstock, if you can see that, is it is textured. So you can tell the back from the front because the back is smooth. So if you like smooth cardstock, you can just cut on the back side. If you like textured cardstock, you can cut on the front side. Oh, I didn't get these leaves. Ooh, not steady. I did this on my left. Okay, so we're gonna put this out like that. We've got to have room for the flower up here. Okay, how pretty is that? All right. So to assemble the flower, I'm just going to hurry and put the center in it. And then we're going to assemble the back side of, well, it's not this, we're going to assemble the back to the front of this flower. So one of the things that I love about the flowers that I do is I like to have multicolors and lots of detail. So again, line it up kind of like a puzzle. If you pick out the petal that is the most distinctive, like this one is the smallest petal, then it's easy to go ahead and line these things up. So always look for the most distinctive petal, and that will help you make the perfect alignment. So there's our cute little flower. Now, because this just has a dot, I'm going to put the glue on this dot and then place my flower down. And I almost did it the other way with putting it on the flower. So then I can place this flower however I want on my tag. I could even you know, give it a little dimension if I wanted to by curling up the petals. And if I feel like I need more glue, I can put more glue behind there as well. But there is our tag number 2. And then number 3 is just as easy. This one, because it doesn't have a background, I am going to put these 2 layers together so you can see how I do that. The background is not a green color, so we do need, I mean, you could have pink veining too. That would be cute. All right. So let's grab that. Put our glue down. So this one will pop more. That's the other thing. If you want to just use those anyway, even though they're on the same backgrounds, they will pop more if you use this second layer. Okay. I'll give it a little bit more dimension. Same thing, lay it down. Can you see the difference in how much this one pops more in comparison to this one? So this one still looks really pretty, but this one does pop off the tag a little bit more, giving it a little more dimension. So that would be another reason why to keep the backgrounds, even though they are the same color as the tag. All right, and this one's going to assemble pretty much the same. The only difference is this one, I put a little bit of dimension with it. So if you want, you can pop those little fringes up, or you can leave them flat, depending on what you want. And I gave you an option of having 2 of those if you want to have a lot more texture. Oh, I'm going to grab that. So even 1 is really cute. If you really want to get some dimension, then you could add a second one. And when I do that, I make sure that I'm not, so this is a defining piece right here. I want to get it away from where it is so that the fringes kind of are opposite. Okay, so look how fun is that? All that texture right there. Okay. Missed a spot right there. It didn't pop out. All right, same thing for this one. I could, or I think on this one, I'm just going to do this whole back piece and then just put it on here the way I want. You could pop this flower part if you want. You could keep it flat. You could, you know, give it some dimension, lift up the petals, kind of like we did here. I kind of like the dimension and texture from this centerpiece right here. The nice thing too is these are interchangeable. If you wanted to have just a normal center, you could do 2 of this one, or same thing here. You could take one of these and put it over here and have this one have some more texture too. So there's a lot of options that you can do with these cute cards. And I hope you make a set of these. But aren't they cute? Just so much fun. I love the colors, and they pair really well with each other. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed creating these cute little gift tags. These are perfect for gifting, weddings, all kinds of fun stuff for these cutie little tags that you can add to just about anything. So I hope you make them and enjoy them. There is a link below to be able to get these files in my silhouette shop. So go ahead and check that out. And also, if you do make these, I would love to see what you create, and you can tag me on Instagram at asiafillmore.creations. Have a wonderful day.